Morning, guys. It's Mike, the Amsoil dealer. Today we're going to be working on my 2002 Cavalier. There's my website where you can get all the products, number1synthetic.com. But this is the car for me that started it all with Amsoil. It's an 02, about when it had 65,000 miles or so. I decided it was time to change the tranny fluid, and I researched. I found Amsoil. I could talk all day about this, but I won't. So anyway, we did that back in 06. I became a dealer in 07, and it's had the motor oil in it since sometime in late 06 as well. And today I'm going to be throwing in the Amsoil 0W-30. It's got the 5W-30 in it now. You're probably asking, why would I change? Basically, all the 30 weight oils are going to be the same operating temperature, same viscosity at operating temperature. The difference is going to be in the cold weather performance. And while we don't have many issues with that here in Florida, it's got a higher viscosity index than the 5 or 10W-30. So anyway, I'm going to be trying that out. I have used it before in the past, and just based on what I had in stock is, what I would put in at the time. Also have our Amsoil EA 15K29 oil filter, and it's 98.7% efficient at 20 microns, which is better than most filters. I don't know, there might be a better one out there, but I think Amsoil is pretty much as far as, as good as you can go without beginning to restrict flow and cut the life down. This is good for 15,000 miles. And this is the 2.2 liter engine. I forget the code. I know there's another engine, but if this is your, looks like your engine, it does have the regular spin on. I think some have a cartridge, but just go to the website. Just go to number1synthetic.com, and you can type in your vehicle and find out exactly what you need. Alright guys, so we're under the car, and we're not doing any engine flush today because this has had Amsoil in it for the past 12 or so years, whatever that is. But yeah, since late 06. So we're just changing our oil. This is what I do about once a year. And sometimes I scare people off when I talk about the extended drain capability of Amsoil. But the biggest thing is protection. Just change your oil when you're comfortable, and if you don't want to run it a year, run it however long you're comfortable, or you can do oil analysis to set your drain intervals. Another thing, and this, if you notice, this is not a factory drain plug, and I'll show you when I take it out. This is a magnetic drain plug made by a company called Gold Plug, and you just go to their website. Actually, they're sold on Amazon as well, and they're they're vehicle specific, so you put in your info and it'll give you the correct one. But let me wipe it off real quick, or let's take a look if we can see. Yeah, there's not too much on there. Let's see what it comes out on the rag as. But yeah, there's a little bit of the iron particles, the metal paste, that, those are the particles of iron that would otherwise be in the oil. I don't know. I would assume they're too small. They're either too small for the filter to catch, or they've dropped down into the pan and been caught by the magnet before they had a chance to be filtered. But I just want to show you a demonstration. There are magnetic drain plugs that are pretty weak, but check this out. This I mean, you have to pull with force to even take it off of the oil pan. That's how strong this one is. And so if you're gonna do it, get a good one. I like these gold plug. Let's see if we can get it there. I don't know if you can see that. This is, what is this? AP04 gold plug for the Chevy 2.2 liter that's in this 2002 Cavalier. But again, it might be overkill, but I think it's a good idea. I also like to change the aluminum crush gasket every time. I never did things like that before, and I don't know if I used to get leaks and always wonder why. And once I understood, the aluminum crush washer is there its purpose is to be deformed. So when you tighten it to torque, you literally crush this soft aluminum washer, and that's what provides the seal to keep your oil from leaking out. So I think it's a good idea. I try to keep enough on hand, in order to do that. Alright guys, so we've got our plug, the new aluminum crush washer, magnets all clean. So we're just gonna get it in here. Make sure the threads are good and don't force anything. Then we'll crank it down. Your goal is just to tighten it securely and crush the aluminum washer enough to make a seal. And just don't overdo it, don't strip your threads, and it should be good. Guys, while I'm under the car, here's another thing that I want to do a video on down the line. What this is a magnifying inline magnetic transmission fluid filter, and you put this in with your return line from the cooler to your transmission, and it's got a regular element filter inside of it, but it's also got a super powerful magnet. They've since changed the design of these, so when I go to replace this, these are available on Amazon, but I recommend getting the true magnifying brand. This one is a plastic housing, and as far as I know, these always worked fine, but they've redesigned it. It looks like a small metal fuel filter now. These you can actually unscrew and take apart, which we'll do on the video when I change it out. This has been on here, I'm gonna approximately 3 years. I can go back and verify that through Amsoil My Garage. But yeah, so that'll be a good topic for another video. Alright, we did get the bolt tightened in. I just had to put the camera down. So I tightened it, and it should be good. Guys, forgive these camera angles, but here we are under the car. You can see the filter there. Now what's tricky is getting to it. Yeah guys, you can see the filter there. What's tricky is getting to it. So I'm gonna pan over. This is the passenger side tire. Sorry if the video just flipped. Passenger side, brake caliper and stuff. The half shaft, I just come in right in here, stick my hand up between the boot here and this plastic thing, and it's tough to get to, but I've right now got my hand on the filter. There's my thumb. The best thing is that this would come off by hand, so I'm gonna just give that a shot, because sometimes, since I only tighten them by hand, sometimes I can get it, but I'm not sure. No, I might have to get my my wrench up in there somehow. I don't know if I'm going to be able to film that, but I'll try to show you at least once you have it loose how I get it out. Right, guys. There is my style, my spider style, I guess you call it, filter wrench. And I'm trying to get my ratchet into it and just turn this thing just a little bit, and then the rest will be done by hand. Let's see if I can move it. But this is one of the more annoying cars I've done. Thankful to only have to do it once a year with Amsoil, but I'll get back to you. Gotta put the camera down. Okay guys, I've got the filter loosened. I do have, you can see this exhaust thingy right here. I've got my drain pan underneath that because I know from experience it's just going to drip all over this. So I'm going to begin, there it is, begin unscrewing by hand. We're going to get some oil here, no doubt. There it comes. And then the super fun part of snaking this out, I'm going to try to get it on the camera for you. Sorry, this thing is going upside down and everything, but okay, I've got the filter off and in my hand. So here's the, try to show you something. Here's the half shaft where it comes out of the transmission, and I'm just snaking through here. I'm having to bend a plastic piece out of the way, and there's the flexible brake line. I mean, this is just not the most fun, but okay. Almost like giving birth. You gotta turn the baby and do all kinds of things, from what I hear, to get it out. All right. Alright, so here's our old filter we took off. Not sure how the light is there. We verified that the old gasket did come off with it, especially on this because it's hard to see the filter mounting surface on the engine. You want to make sure that this gasket comes off with the filter, because if it sticks to the engine and you put your new filter on with a double gasket, it's gonna, guaranteed it's gonna leak. And here's our Amsoil EA15K 29. Comes in the nice packaging, and these are like all Amsoil products. They're made in the U.S. Product of USA, and they do have the full synthetic nanofiber material, and also that orange thing in there is your anti-drain back valve. So since this filter is mounted horizontally, it's going to keep the oil in the filter after you shut the engine off, so that you don't get a dry start every time you start your engine. And that's important. I don't know how many filters have them and how many don't, but the Amsoil ones do, thankfully. And so we're going to go ahead and pre-fill a little bit, not too much, because it's of how it's mounted, and we'll get some here. We're going to put on the gasket. So yeah, but because of how it's mounted, it's and having to snake it in there, it's going to be better not to have it completely full. Sometimes you might even want to put one in dry, just because it's such a hassle to get in and you don't want oil spilling everywhere. But I want to try to prevent those dry starts. Alright guys, we're back under the car. We got our filter all prepped, and and I'm just gonna snake it back through the same way I took it out. Sorry, not sure how much you can see here, probably not much that's useful. It's up in there. There it is. Get some light. Let there be light. So it's on. I tightened it. I had to get my hand in a little further up, or a little further back on the car. But anyway, I got my hand on it. I got it tight. Thankful that I'm good for another year. Up to 15,000 miles. Alright guys, so we've got our Amsoil Signature Series 100% synthetic 0W-30. Again, my car calls for 5W-30, but I'm going for this one because it's got a higher viscosity index. Just kind of nerding out on the specifications and stuff. I'll try to post, if I can, the data sheet. You can always get it at my website, number1synthetic.com, or hit, contact me or whatever. Feel free to reach out, contact me with questions or comments. But yeah, so that's quart 1, and we'll get 3 more in there, and then we can start it up, check for leaks, drop it down, and do our final check. In a true synthetic oil, all the molecules are the same size and shape, and that's the biggest the claim to fame with the Amsoil and the true synthetics are, see, with petroleum, you're starting with something very dirty and impure and taking out the bad stuff and trying to get a product that falls into a usable category, a usable set of parameters. With true synthetics, they are built in a lab. They're literally engineered from pure chemicals. All the molecules are the same size and shape, which is important. So with synthetics, true synthetics, you're not trying to take out the bad stuff to make it better. You're starting with something pure and engineering the product to be exactly how you want. So, time to do our startup after the oil change. We're going to keep an eye on that oil pressure gauge on the left side there, or light I should say. Let's see here. There it is. It should go out, but there it is. It went out. So after it filled the filter with oil, let's get under there and see what we've got. As you can see, I got a ABS warning issue going on. This has been a good car overall. Haven't really had a lot of problems with it. Done maintenance to it. No leaks from the drain plug, and no leaks so far from the filter. I'd say we're good. We're probably going to get some burn off that oil that drips onto that exhaust piece there, but I don't know why they designed it that way, but it's right there. But alright, time for our final check. Wipe it off. If you can see it there, it's right in the crosshatch, right below max. So I'd say we're good with the 4 quarts. Some people add a 1/4 of a quart, but I usually just wait you know, if I get half a quart low, I'll top it off or something, but I usually just dump 4 in and go with it. There it is, guys. I just checked Amsoil My Garage. You can get to that, go to number1synthetic.com, and you can put your own vehicle in if you want. Look up the Amsoil products that are recommended for your vehicle. But yeah, I just went in and checked it out. So I put just over 13,000 miles on this oil and filter. So but yeah, car's doing good. This again is a 2002 Chevy Cavalier, and it's got 159,600 some miles on it, and it's been running good on Amsoil since 2006, and it is October of 2019.